I'm on a roll today. Oh, I'll get all these layouts into my albums and I can do more. Okay, guys, back to the layout shares. This is Nate and myself this past Christmas. Background, the black, is Simple Stories, their Christmas collection from this year. I think this little red part, like deep red, is, yes, that and the green is also from Simple Stories Christmas collection. The layer right here with the little Christmas trees, that's Basil's Christmas collection this year. I forget the name, but it was one of my favorite collections and kind of surprised me because I don't think I've ever liked a Basil collection before. I love Basil cardstock, but never knew until you have any collections. Let's see. The Say Cheese, Oh My, and Cheese Ball word bubbles is K and Company. And that was a sleeper because you see this little camera over here. It was all in the same collection and it was hanging over by the K and Company stuff. I don't know the name of the collection, but it was very cute. And I usually don't look at the K and Company collections. I know, paper snob, those little round things that look like buttons are actually very large sequins and they have little grooves in them. I sewed on the layout and you can see the stitching is pretty strong because I went back and forth a couple of times. Oh, I think that's about it. These buttons are like Karen Foster or Melissa so-and-so. I forget who, but it's from a couple of Christmases ago. You see the white paper in there? I actually did the corrugated part myself. And I have this old tool, and you know what? I will share it. I'll do a video and I'll share that with you. I don't want to get up now and leave the camera running and all that, but it's like this tool and it's about this long and it has crinkles in it and you put the paper in it and roll it and it embosses paper. I have one that does hearts, one that does waves, and one that's straight lines that make your paper look corrugated. I don't know why I didn't use it all these years, but now it's only about 4 to 5 inches wide, so you can't put any more than 4 to 5 inch width paper into the tool. This is a picture from this Christmas. And, well, let me tell you how the speech bubbles work. This one says, say cheese, and I've got the number 1 on it. And then you're supposed to go to Nate, and he says cheese ball. And I say, oh my, like I didn't want him to say cheese ball. I know. It's quirky, but that's what we do around here. This is probably one of the best pictures of me for the past 20 years. Why, you say? A lot of people have said, I want to hear the story about Christmas 2013. So I may not get another layout up, but here's the story of 2013. As most of you know, I have back problems and some chronic pain issues. The big problem with my back is when I was 18, I was in a car wreck. It broke my back and it broke my pelvic bone. They actually put something called Harrington rods into my back to fuse my back together. Now, I heard they don't do that anymore, but, I don't know the logistics of it. Anyway, about, 13 years ago, 14 maybe, my back started to hurt. After the wreck, my back didn't bother me again until I was almost 36 or 37. and I was having pain running down my legs. My back was in horrible pain, blah, blah, blah. Well, they didn't find out for several months that those rods that were in my back, say right here, had broken away from their original placement point, and now they were down my back. Like if you see an x-ray, the rods are supposed to be here, but they're not. They're down here, and they're crooked, and the bolts or screws that held those rods in are up my spinal column or something. I don't know. I don't know all the technical terms, but what the consensus was, if they did surgery, since so much scar tissue had grown around those rods, if they operated, it could possibly paralyze me, because apparently scar tissue is like hard as a rock. Needless to say, I said never mind and thank you. We'll just leave those rods in there. So they do cause pain. I have good days, I have bad days. The way I feel about it, it could be a lot worse. I had a friend who went through breast cancer, and I can't compare to that. I mean, what I saw her go through and what she goes through even now with the worry of that cancer returning, I'm good. You know what I mean? So it could be a lot worse. Anyway, I have good and bad days. The thing is I don't really want to get up on the roof and fall off, because I don't want to get any worse. And I tend to try to take it easy so that when I am having a good day, I don't overdo it and I'm flat on the couch the next day. Therefore, there's a lot of things around the house I don't do. Not many, but when it comes to carrying heavy stuff, I'm a little funny. Or climbing, things like that. One of the things that I don't do is to haul in the several boxes of Christmas decorations that we have that are kept out in the shed. I feel like that's my husband and son's job. Well, every year for 20 plus years, I start in the early part of November about Christmas decorations. Are you going to bring the Christmas decorations in? Yeah, I'll get to it, he says. And I don't say anything for 4 to 10 days. It depends on the timing. And then I'll say something again. Don't forget the Christmas decorations. Oh, I forgot. But I'm always afraid to say anything, about them, because I don't know, did he forget? And I'm going to help him by mentioning the Christmas decorations? Or is he going to say, stop nagging me about those Christmas decorations? Well, this year, I just had a couple of months where my health was just really, really bad. And I was having a huge pity party, and I was feeling really sorry for myself. And I just didn't want any aggravation. I didn't want any negativity. I just didn't care. So I didn't even bring up the Christmas decorations. Now, the truth is, if he would have brought those decorations in, if I was bleeding out of my eyes, ears, nose, and mouth, I'd have put them up. But he didn't. And every night I'd go to bed and I'd think, oh, I'll ask him about the decorations tomorrow. And then I would wake up and I would think, I'm just not in the mood for a war. I don't want to argue about decorations. I don't want to go toe-to-toe on how much he does and how much I do. So, on the 12th or 13th, I forget which one it was, my husband says to me, want me to get the decorations? And I said no. Well, he looked like I had two heads. I said, It's the 13th. Christmas is in 12 days. I'm not putting all of that stuff out for 2 weeks. It's not worth it. It's going to take me 2 days to get everything in place and clean. I'm not doing it. And I went back to watching TV. He stood there for a few minutes, so I thought, well, we might as well have some kind of conversation if you're going to stand here. So I was like, what's the problem? And he was like, I can't believe you're not putting up the decorations. Here's how I feel. Every single solitary year, I shop, I wrap gifts, I cook, I bake, and I'm not kidding, probably 50 dozen batches of cookies. Various cookies. Cookies with M&Ms, cookies with oatmeal, cookies with raisins, cookies without raisins, and fudge. I probably make 40 pounds of fudge. Not only do I bake and cook this stuff, I pay for it. I go to the store to buy it and bring it home, and I don't mind. By the time I'm done doing cookies and fudge, I probably need to be hooked up to a morphine drip. I could have a lobotomy sometimes. I'm so tired or I feel so bad, but I don't say much of anything. I don't mind doing it. It's Christmas, and I feel like I do it so that they'll have cookies and fudge, and so that it seems like Christmas around our house. I think we're so blessed to have a home to put a tree up in. I think we are blessed to be able to buy this stuff, presents, pay our bills, and to have decorations. Some of those decorations were my mother's decorations. We're lucky to have that. People lose belongings every day in floods and hurricanes and tornadoes, and we are blessed. I would like to celebrate our life every day, but we don't. And I think a good time of year to celebrate our life is Christmas. We get to see the kids more often. The grandkids are here more often because they're out of school. If I could, I would climb up on the counter and crawl to the top of the refrigerator and slide down the dishwasher for Christmas. My husband brings in 7 to 10 boxes. He's a big, strong, strapping dude. They're not that heavy. They're packed well because I make sure they are. So if he drops them, nothing breaks. I don't overpack them so that they're too heavy. I think about all this while I'm cooking and while I'm shopping and while I'm cleaning. Why can't he go get the boxes without being begged or nagged or told? So this year, I forgot the boxes. I have to be honest, I didn't miss it that much. Now, our kids are all grown. My baby is 30 years old, and I like having that tree and the festivities for the grandkids, but you know what? The grandkids all have mommies who had a tree up for them. The only person that said anything to me about decorations was Nate, and when I said, well, Paw didn't bring them in, so we're not putting them up, he did not seem broken, and he didn't seem crushed. But he did draw me 5 pictures of Santa Claus and a Santa Claus train, and he hung them on my wall in my family room where I could see them from my couch, and they're still there. I'll show them to you next video. And I said, Nate, well, why did you do that for Momo? And he said, so you would have some decorations for Christmas. And I assured him, as long as he was okay, I was okay. You know, he's 7. The grandkids are 5, 7, and 10. As long as they got their toys and gifts, they were good. You know how they are. However, this year I also did not make cookies, fudge. I didn't make trays for my husband to take into work on potluck day. I didn't make dinner. When my stepkids and his family came over, he made dinner, which consisted of fried chicken from our local grocery store, 3 cans of generic corn, and the kids were shocked because they was like, "Where's the rolls?" And he was like, "I didn't get rolls." Everybody looked at me and I said, "Pawpaw took care of cooking this year. I guess we don't have no rolls. Get a piece of bread." It was definitely a different vibe. I don't even know if I'll put things up next year. The kids still had presents. Everybody was healthy. Everybody was happy. Just the tree was missing. I missed it a little. And I actually didn't plan not to make cookies and stuff. I was going to do that, but the mood just never hit me. That's the sad, sad Christmas tragedy that happened in 2013. I'm anxious to see what happens in 2014. I wonder if he'll pull out the decorations on his own. And who knows, maybe I'll be ready to remind him or to nag him, or maybe I can get the decorations myself next year. We'll see. Anyway, I've jokingly laughed that I have never looked so calm, so relaxed, and so wrinkle-free as I did in this Christmas picture. I don't even have dark circles or bags under my eyes. My hair looks shiny and bouncy, although the gray hairs are there. But I guess just because you're rested one week doesn't mean those gray hairs from the previous 10 years are going to go away. I'll zoom in. And that is burlap. I picked up that burlap at Michael's. It was like a sheet of paper, but it was burlap. And that's me and my Nene. I will come back and share some more layouts. Thanks for watching, guys.